Hello, I'm the Happy Jam and welcome to my last video of 2014. And boy am I going out on a bang. What have I gotten myself in for? Yeah, these modulars are quite difficult to review, so you're going to have to bear with me. But if you haven't already noticed, this is the Lego modular build in the pet shop. This is my first ever one. I got it for Christmas from my local Lego shop. I say local, it's like 45 minutes away, but that's not the problem. It was £120. Yeah, Santa didn't buy this one. And you can see the money on the screen. I am glad that I invested in this purchase. I am super impressed, basically, and you'll see why. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate this thing around so you can get an overall look at it, then later I'll zoom in on detail. If you're wondering on the size, it's about 11.1 inches. So it's big, it's pretty big, but it's actually on the smaller side as far as the Lego modulars go. In fact, it is the smallest modular, I believe. But you get two buildings for it. They're both very distinct and they can separate. That's good. They look good from the back. They almost look like a Lego city set on the back. I appreciate the detail there. And we will get into all this momentarily. Both of them are very distinct design-wise. They're both different colours. This is mostly sand blue. This is the pet shop, by the way. This tiny little area here. That's what the whole set's named after. But I guess the townhouse isn't a very interesting title, so there we go. Let's just get into the townhouse first. Okay, so this is the first building that you build through the instructions, and this is my favourite of the two. I just really like the design on the front. I think it's much more interesting than the pet shop. You have these gorgeous bay windows here, and it just looks really cool. As you can see, it's very thin, but that's kind of the way these houses are in real life. And the best thing about it, I think, is if you're fortunate enough to afford several of these, if you put them all in a row, then that'll look really cool, I think. I've seen them in mocks and such before. So you can just line them up. It doesn't matter if they're all identical. There's another look at the back. And now let's zoom in on the detail. So this is the bottom of the front of the townhouse. First I'm going to focus on the bay window, which is probably my favourite element of the whole set, really. It just works really nicely. We have had bay windows previously in the modular series, but it's never quite worked as well as this, and I think that's thanks to the Prince of Persia dome pieces that are used here. This gives a very sleek look to it. And you can very much see how it's built just from this. You use a lot of these hinge pieces, I want to say. I don't know the technical terms. But it's definitely something that, if you have the pieces, you can easily incorporate into your city. There's a tiny little garden down there with some little flowers. And this is all fenced off with prison bar pieces. Here's the stairs. They're nice and smooth. You got a smooth pavement, which the modular's kind of known for. They like it smooth. I really like the design of the banister here. It's using Lego skeleton legs in black, which is a little weird, but it works effectively. I guess the people of Lego City like to recycle their pieces. Here's the design of the door. It's a bit of a flaw, but it opens inwards. So with big fingers, it's pretty much impossible to close it again. Bit of a design flaw, but you can fix it very easily just by turning it around. Otherwise, you have to lift up the whole thing and close it like that. There's a little letterbox there. You get this on the pet shop as well. It's got one of the basic letter designs in there. They look nice, they work. Some ski pieces are used up here, which I don't really like. It sort of doesn't suit the rest of the design. The modulars always like to use unique pieces that you wouldn't expect them to be used in that way for a cool design. Did that make sense? Yeah, I'll go with it. But it's just really sharp and rigid, the ski pieces, which doesn't really suit the overall curved, smooth design. I say curved, it is effectively just a brick. But moving up the building, you get a little window till there. This bit and these have no glass in them or see-through plastic. That's because there's no glass piece created for that, and these aren't actually window pieces. I'm not sure what the technical term is for them, but they're not even gonna... I don't know how to describe them. Doesn't matter. Here's a drain pipe going along here. That's just using black rod pieces. And we get to the top, we get my second favourite element of the building, and that is this little balcony here. As you can see, we got one of our figures in here. I'll get to them later. You get this cool sort of detail here with the brown flowers and smooth white. And then you get this very small balcony here, but it kind of works. It looks really nice with the figure up there, as you saw. I'll get you a different angle of that later on. Here's the back side of the building. As you can see, the townhouse is actually a raised building, which you don't get too often, which gives you the opportunity to have a cellar going on here. You open it, there's nothing much in there. There's easier access up in the building, so we'll go more into that later on. And here's a bin that just has a red cheese loaf in it to represent garbage, I guess. Can't see that too well, but oh well. And then the rest of it, as I said before, it kind of looks like a Lego City building because it's just kind of the basic flat colours with windows and stuff. You get another windowsill here, and then there's the back side here where you got this nice little open roof garden, which I'll get to later, and then the smooth red bit. That wraps it up for the exterior of the building. Ooh, I just broke it. But let's get inside. Like most Lego buildings, all the floors separate. Because I'm from the UK, I'm going to call this the ground floor, that the first floor, and that the second floor. So separate first floor, then you can separate the top floor, and even the roof comes off. But we'll get into all that later. So here is the interior of the ground floor. It's quite difficult to film this, but I'm going to do my best. It's just an overall look. First thing you'll probably notice is this staircase, a sort of spiral design. I'll get more into how they did that on the next floor. There's a little phone there, old style phone. For some reason they decided to use a black lightsaber, even though that doesn't resemble a phone at all. You got a hat stand there. Problem I have is how the letterbox sticks through the wall. That doesn't look great, it's only half a letterbox. Let's try and sort out the lighting here. This is very tricky. Then there's a little table here. You can't see it because it's very dark. But the legs of that are made out of black lightsaber hilts. And then they use a clear Lego head as the vase for the plant pot. And then there's just a very basic sofa, but it kind of works. Believe it or not, this is the floor with the most furnishings in it. And then here's the little axe. Oh, I broke the coffee table. So there we go, you can just see the basement there. You lift up that hatch, there's a ladder there. As I said, there's no detail in there, it's just the bottom of the green base plate. I guess there's plenty of space for the owner of this house to put his dead bodies and that sort of thing, like you do. And then my favourite detail about down here is this little door here. Opens up a bathroom. I try my best to show it to you. You can see the tiled floor in there. There's a tiled floor, and then there's the actual toilet. There's a window looking straight in. So I guess the people of Lego don't really care about privacy. There's nothing in there, not even a sink. It's just the toilet. And it's quite a nice toilet design for what it is. It's like a bucket and one of those safety ring pieces. And that's under the staircase, which makes for good space saving. There's one more look at the bottom floor. That's the door that opens inward and is incredibly difficult to get to. But that is it for the most detailed floor of this building. So here's the second floor, and as you can see, we have been spoiled, haven't we? Yes, this is the main criticism that people have with this set, and that's the fact that they use this house in transition gimmick to avoid creating furnishing and sort of save on pieces. So you get a little decorator figure, and this tile here is supposed to represent paint. Then if you put him in, like this, then it looks like he's painting, which is very creative, I think, and it works nicely. And here's the spiral staircase I was talking about, and it looks really good. It's a very effective method they use. It's just 1x4 tiles with a 1x3 smooth plate on it and studs, and it creates this really nice effect. I know LEGO have an official spiral staircase pieces that they used in the old Harry Potter sets a lot, but I think this works nicer. It's much smoother and less chunky, I guess you can say. And now on the final floor, here's the little balcony I was talking about. There's not much space in there, but as I said, it works, it looks nice. Here's a chimney, but there's no actual fireplace in the building, so I'm not sure what's there for. Just take the roof off. All of the floors are connected with just a couple of studs, so it's very easy to remove. And here is pretty much the biggest clue that it's a house that's being moved, because you've got some moving boxes there, which are just 2x2 bricks with smooth tiles on it. I was about to say there's some more use of the skeleton legs here. It's actually a different banister design. Oh yeah, there is a skeleton leg being used in there, never mind. They're still recycling, guys. That just goes on there. And then you get this lovely stained glass window. I'm going to try and light it up for you. There you go, that's a really nice little detail. Obviously, door can open. There's the back of the balcony. It's like a French door style. And here's a lovely little garden balcony. It reminds me very much of the film Rear Window by Hitchcock, where the back of the buildings is where the main focus is. There's a little garden here, and they're growing something. Maybe it's a drug plantation. We don't know. Use your imagination, kids. So let's take a break from the buildings and have a look at the figures featured in this set. You don't get a very high number of figures in this one, but that's okay, because they're all quite basic anyway. One of the trademarks of the modular buildings is that they all use the classic Lego head, or at least the newer version of it. And they look great, really. They look fantastic. Some people criticise that they use this head, but if they were to ever change it, then I think it would be a big blow to the charm of these modular sets. I know I love my minifigures having this face, and everyone who populates my Lego town will have this face, even if it looks incredibly creepy. This is a nice looking figure. It uses a torso that's slightly questionable, considering this is just supposed to be a townsperson. Yeah, they're wearing quite an extravagant dress sort of thing with a corset and stuff. Or none of these have names. They're just there to fulfill whatever purpose you would like for them. Here's the next fella. I think the way the box is portraying it is that he's in charge of the pet shop. It would have been nice to have a more identifiable torso for someone who owns the pet shop, because of course this could just be the husband to the previous figure. He's just wearing that green jumper that we've seen 100 times in LEGO City. It would have been nice if he got a torso that had like paw prints on it or something like that. If you got the Rocket Raccoon polybag, then you do actually get a sticker with paw prints on it, so maybe you can somehow stick that on a torso and get yourself a pet shop minifigure. He has a letter as well for his letterbox. Then there's the kid. She comes on a green bike. She's a little too short for the pedals, so I'm not sure how safe it is riding on it. But it is just the basic LEGO bike we've been getting for years. Take this off. Is the little girl in some short green legs, which is quite nice. Don't get those often. But she's got that torso that is horribly overused since it was introduced back in 2009, 2010. But yeah, it is horribly overused. But she looks nice. She has some nice hair. Oh, she's come off. Then the final figure It's the best one just because of how unique it is. And this is the decorator. He looks great. He just works really well. He has that very classic Lego feel to him. Comes with this paint roller that's just a simple mini build. And he looks really nice. I like how simple he looks. He works very nicely. My favourite figure. So now, finally, onto the actual pet shop itself that the set's named after. The pet shop only takes up this tiny portion of the buildings as a whole. But it's alright. I think the pet shop is a good title. This window's loose, can you see that? It keeps popping open. Anyway, there's some details at the bottom there which I'll get into in the close-up. Again, it looks a bit like a Lego City building from the back because it's quite basic. You got the holes for the Technic Connect Up that the Modulars are known for. And the front doesn't look nice, but I think it's definitely the weaker of the two. And the townhouse just had the bay windows and looked a lot more creative and visually interesting, where this is just basic windows. Got some flower pots which gives some nice colour. I do really like the roof design, which I'll get to later. And of course the pet sign looks fantastic, which I'll get to right now in fact. It's the bottom of the front of the pet shop. You get the nice smooth pavement as usual. The trademark white lamppost that comes in every modular set. There's this lovely little tiled area at the front of the shop, and some of the products are on display. You get 2 dog bones and then a bouncy ball, which is just one of those, if I can get it out, that's just on a hinge by the way. It's just one of the Technic ball joints, but it does the part, looks nice. Obviously door, glass door, glass window. You get the little design up here, and of course the pet sign, which is just fantastic. Whoever created this idea of doing the brick built lettering is just a genius. Definitely earns the title of Master Builder. I know this was used in a previous modular, the fire station, but there it was very awkward to build, I believe. Whereas in this, I had a grin on my face the whole time building it. It's just genius and fantastic, and it was very easy to build. And if you're creative enough, you can probably customize it and figure out how to do all sorts of different lettering. Up there is stairs and a letterbox. Here's some extra light. There's another letterbox there, which had the lettering that the guy in the green jumper was holding. And there's a little lamp up there, which could have used a light up feature, I think. That would look really nice. And then those stairs just go straight up into the apartment, or do they? Have the first floor, just the flower boxes. It's very basic. This always creates a nice effect on the modulars using these indented 1x2s. The colouring is nice, if a little bland. And then, right at the top, lift the camera up here. You get this, I really like this design. You build it all uneven, so it creates this very nice effect. In fact, I'll just take it off to show you. But if you look, it's all uneven and unrigid. That makes for a really cool design, I really like that. And then you just got these windows without the glass, because glass hasn't been made for them. Stick that up there. Okay. Now let's get a closer look at the back. There's a few more details back here than there were in the last one. Get a black door here. A ladder randomly sticking out the wall, or is it supposed to be a vent to get the smell of animals out? You get a crate here. You don't get anything to put in it, but it's always nice to get those. You get a bucket, which doesn't even look Lego-y really. Not sure what it's been used in. I've never gotten one of these before. But it really doesn't look like Lego, though it is very oversized in true Lego fashion. And then you get a mouse or a rat coming out of a hole, and you'll see the payoff for that later on. Then once again, just kind of basic. You got the colour scheme there, nice windows. There is glass in these ones. And right at the top, just 3 more windows, and that's it for the exterior. Let's get inside. Okay, sorry if it seems like I'm rushing this bit, but I'm running out of space on the camera and I want to get this done. And I'm sure the video is running a bit long anyway. But just like last time, all of it separates nicely. This actually has a slightly different way of connecting together than the other one. You get this ridge piece here. But if I put the camera down a bit, you can see the interior. Straight away, what hits you is this lovely tiled floor. That looks really nice. And also the lack of space in here, which leads to one of my biggest problems with this entire place, and that's the fact that the stairs just run straight through the shop, which definitely isn't realistic, and just a bit inefficient. I guess if it's the pet owner that owns the apartment above, then it's not too bad. It's still not great having to walk for a shop every time you want to go home. Struggling with light here. But, hold on. So, you can see in there a little bit, there's a cat. It's like a crouched over cartoony looking cat. And this is even more difficult than the other one. Where it's just a cartoony cat, crouched over. And what is it looking at? It's looking at that mouse hole from earlier. And get some light in. Try and show you. But yeah, there's a little hole there, and the rat's tail is poking through. You get this shelf above the till. Till is one of the old-fashioned crank ones. It's brick built. You can kind of see the back of the pet shop sign there, how it's sort of built. You get the chew toy, a tiny birdhouse. You got a dog area there, a dog pen. I like the design of the pens actually. It's quite sleek, but it's also basic. In the window, I forgot to point out, you can see a couple of parrots there, but apparently they get loose as all the box art has them all over the place. And then, the last pet in the pet shop is this fish tank back there. And I'm pretty sure Peter's going to be on these people because I'm not sure if it's legal to have a creature of that size in such an enclosed space. It's like a giant mutant goldfish we got at the back there. If I take it out, it's a nice little mini build. It uses a window piece that I don't think we've seen for years by Lego. And it actually works really nicely, except for the fact that, of course, it is a giant mutant goldfish. And there's some plants down there just for detail. Here's the second floor, and this apartment is far more detailed than the townhouse was. You get a nice little sort of swivel chair in there with a cup of coffee. There's a printed clock in there. Then you get a sink, coffee machine, a cooker, and there's an actual fireplace in this one, which is nice. And you have the stairs above where the stairs actually come out. There's a black door there, which is where the stairs from the floor below would go. And I really like this design, how the stairs just go straight up. And there's not too much to say about it, but it does look good. And here's the final floor of the pet shop. This is probably my favourite floor, I quite like it. There's a skylight in there, so you get some extra lighting. But of course, the roof is removable. Yeah, those little details there, and of course the chimney. And here's the inside. And it's sort of a loft sort of thing. I'll quickly show you how it all connects. But the bed just sort of goes on that balcony there. And I really like the look of the bed, it's a nice mini build. There's a lamp there, and it just works really nicely, I think. Good space save. First of all, sorry for any background noise. Someone is playing their music very loudly. But let's get on with closing up this review. It's been long enough. So overall, what did I think of this set? It is fantastic and an excellent start to my modular collection. I'm definitely hooked on this modular series and I'm now going to have to throw out loads of money to get all the ones that are currently on shelves. If you're wondering why I bought this one, that is simply because, That's simply because this is the next one due to be discontinued, although we're not 100% sure on that anymore because the Town Hall went out earlier this year. And that had only been released in 2012. This has been around since 2011, so it should definitely be going sometime soon. That and the Palace Cinema, I think, is one of the weaker modular buildings. I don't think it's that great. I'm not in a rush to get that one. Next, I'll probably get the detective's office, because that set looks fun. Excuse me. That set looks fantastic. As far as ages go, this set is 16 plus, which I'm pretty confident is the highest LEGO Go. And that might seem ridiculous to start off with, and it probably is a bit over the top. I think if you got a 12-year-old that's a seasoned LEGO builder, they should be able to build this easily. But even I was pretty overwhelmed to start off with. I'll show you, just flicking through the instructions now. This is step 5 of the instructions, and look how much is already on there. It does get, I did find it getting easier throughout the build though. I don't think it's too much of a challenge. And they're LEGO instructions, so they are great, of course. Although there was a few flaws I noticed in the instructions. They're not going to affect your building at all, but there the fence post depicted there just has the 2 studs on top. These ones have 4, and then the skis that depicted are the different kind of skis that have that foot bit at the back, whereas these don't. I'm not sure if this is just because this is a re-release of the set that I have, so the pieces are slightly different. I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter too much. I just thought I would point that out. And there's no sense. Some problems I had with this set is the fact that it is very bare. The first floor and the second floor are very blank. There's no furnishings inside because they use this gimmick of house in transition to avoid piece count or something like that, I'm not sure. And it does seem like corners have been cut besides that, like the stairs running through the pet shop. And I guess it was just to keep the piece count down or something. I'm not sure. But you're going to get that with every modular set. I don't think any modular is perfect, but they are the best that LEGO has to offer on a yearly basis, I think. I'm definitely looking forward to getting to the rest of them. So thank you very much for watching, and if you have collected any of the previous modular sets, let me know what they are like, because this is my first one, obviously. If you have like a top 10 list or something, even though the detective's office is going to be the 10th. But, you know, just comment on what your opinion is, and I would like to read it. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.